Welcome to the Pulse podcast, where we discuss the latest trends in workplace, technology, and healthcare equipment, from artificial intelligence to business transformation. My name is Koen Claeys, Global Program Manager for our largest technology vendor partnership at DLL. Joining me for today's episode is Lindsey Casella, our sustainability business consultant in DLL. Lindsey, welcome to our podcast.
Thank you so much for having me, Koen. I'm joining you feeling very refreshed after an extremely productive climate week here in New York City, where I was just recently representing DLL on behalf of group sustainability, meeting with a lot of our different strategic partners.
That's really cool. So what did you actually see at Climate Week? What really was exciting?
The spaces like Climate Week, which has been happening now for over a decade, really help us get a temperature check on where our organization stands and what the priorities of our customers are. But this year, it was actually really interesting to see one of the main themes was financing has become the topic of conversation for how to enable transition.
That's interesting. This is where financing actually really can make a difference. Are there any specific examples you have seen at Climate Week you can share with us?
Absolutely. I'm going to nerd out a little bit here because during Climate Week, there's so many examples, but specifically players like Philips, I actually thought it was interesting. We're focusing on decarbonizing hospital operations and the digital infrastructure that supports them, very focused on modular systems and energy efficiency, which matches a lot of the conversations we're having surrounding decarbonization. And not to nerd out too much, but around data centers and how we think about hardware through the lens of circularity. And I know, Koen, you're quite familiar with this from a lot of the times we've chatted together.
Exactly. There's a growing momentum around modular, energy efficient data center equipment, with OEMs and hospitals focusing more on reuse, refurbishment, and smarter cooling to cut emissions and costs. This actually reminds me of a product that we're using in the Cisco program, which is called Cisco GreenPay. It's a product where the customer is using it during a certain period, and after that time, goes back to Cisco, goes back into their circular economy. So Cisco is reusing, remanufacturing, and scrapping very small parts of the equipment. In addition, also, the customer gets a certificate that this product has been entered into the circular economy of Cisco. So what is next in the world of sustainability?
Here at DLL, we've been really intentional about getting involved with some strategic relationships and partners like the Ellen MacArthur Foundation. Over the last few months, we've been working alongside them and a lot of interesting discussions surrounding e-waste and supply chain optimization, and are looking forward to continuing those discussions and how we can leverage the knowledge and information sharing to make an impact, and working right now on different pilot programs to realign and create new ways of life cycle assessment management within our organization.
Well, Lindsey, thank you very much for the discussion. We've covered many great points regarding sustainability trends and how financing can support a circular model.
Thank you so much for having me, Koen. I love any opportunity to nerd out with you. This was a ton of fun.
Likewise. If you'd like to explore more about how financing can support circular business practices, learn more about Cisco GreenPay on dllgroup.com. And if you'd like to keep up with the world of workplace, technology, and healthcare equipment financing, subscribe to The Bridge, DLL's newsletter on LinkedIn. Thanks for tuning in to this episode of the Pulse podcast. Stay tuned for our next episode with useful insights on healthcare, technology, and workplace.
This podcast is brought to you by DLL Group. All rights reserved. This podcast is for general information purposes only and should not be used as a substitute for professional advice. The opinions expressed in this podcast are solely those of the participants. Nothing herein should be construed as legal, tax, financial, accounting, or investment advice. Please visit www.dllgroup.com/aboutus for further details.